Good morning, and welcome to another VerbLink class. Tonight's class has to deal with the legal system. Hiring a lawyer is very expensive. Many of us can't afford it. Even fewer of us can even afford to spend an hour or two talking to a lawyer about a case. This class is going to explore a news piece that came out recently talking about a growing number of people that are choosing to represent themselves in court. Then, in 2 hours, we're going to have another class and we're going to debate this topic. We'll get started shortly once students have arrived in the class. Guys are 1 minute late. Can't really start without having students. We'll get started in just a minute. Good morning, Rexia.
Morning. Morning.
Looks like winter's here now.
Yeah.
And how is your New Year's?
It was okay.
Good. Good. Natalie, good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening.
Good evening for me, good morning for you. Thank you.
You're welcome. And how was your New Year's?
It was good. It is the main celebrated day in my country, in Russia, because everyone like it, and it was very good. Thank you.
Excellent. Good morning, Anna. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Simon. Thank you very much for posting those classes. I post it on my community.
Thank you. Well, this class is completely full. And in 2 hours, I've got a debate class, and it continues this very same topic. So today we're just going to talk about it, but then in 2 hours we'll actually have a debate if you guys can make it to that class. There's still 3 seats available. So thank you very much for making it. Anna, Wellington, good afternoon.
Good afternoon and Happy New Year.
Thank you, sir. Happy New Year to you as well. I keep forgetting it's 2016.
Yeah, thank you.
That's what my calendar says. Yeah, 2016. Another year.
Yes, another year. A lot of hope.
Yes, I hope so. Good morning, Tess.
Good morning, Simon.
Good to see you.
Yes, good to see you again too.
And I hope you have a happy new year as well.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Asma. Thank you. Asma, good morning. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are.
Hello, teacher. How are you? Happy New Year.
I'm tired. I didn't get a full night's sleep last night, so I'll wake up shortly, I hope. Okay.
You can cover that.
Yeah. Okay, so here's what I want everybody to do right now. I want you to go ahead and click that link because we're going to watch a video. A video I prepared for you. And it's about legal representation in court. Now, this video is from a news service in Canada. However, the story still applies elsewhere in the world because legal representation is not cheap. Some would say that it's not whether you're innocent or not, it's whether you can afford a good attorney or not that makes the difference in a court case. So I'd like everybody to open up that link because we're going to watch a video. If anybody has trouble with it, let me know. It's about 5 minutes long. And as soon as you've opened it, I want you to start watching it. When you're finished watching it, let me know. And then we're going to start our discussion and role play. Okay, so I'm going to go mute because I'm going to watch it as well. Okay. The video has finished playing on mine, so it should have finished playing for most of you as well. Wellington.
Yes, sir.
You finished watching the video?
Yes.
Okay. In 1 minute, I want you to tell me one key point of the video.
So many people nowadays are represent yourself in the court, and this in a way to save money, and so there are a lot of other reasons for this.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what's one?
For save money, sometimes the lawyers are not working well. They have many clients, many customers, and so I think the main point is this: money and time and of course commitment.
Okay. Thank you very much. Ellie, have you finished watching the video? Okay. Anna.
Yes. A lot of people have been representing themselves in the courts because they don't have money to afford advocates. And a woman who had hired an advocate and she was going through a divorce. He spent a lot of money, but he had to do that because she had to do that because she had no stamina, no time. She had to work. She had to take care of their children, and she said that when someone represents themselves, it's not fair somehow because the person is not likely to reach any agreement. The person is kind of selfish,
Okay.
like her husband was.
Yeah, and this can happen, right? So these are some of the pitfalls. Anatoly.
Yes, I also heard from this video that the main aim of advocates to clean their clients clean up. I'm not sure about using phrasal verbs. And when people decided to protect themselves without lawyers, it could be more consciously, maybe.
Okay. Thank you very much. Asma, what else can we gain from this video?
Okay. I think that hiring a lawyer is very expensive, and it is unaffordable for some people. So that's why they have no choice to represent themselves in the court. But sometimes it's very difficult to play the role of the lawyer because it can make you feel afraid of being a lawyer, and in fact you're not a lawyer. And some of them can hire some coach or some lawyer to coach them, representing themselves in court, even though they cannot do very well, especially when the other person hire a lawyer. It's unfair.
Yeah, it's tough. That's all very good. Yeah. Now, whether you hire a lawyer or you represent yourself, I can guarantee you there's going to be a lot of stress.
Yes, you're right in both situations.
Yeah. Thank you. Rexia, what else What did you notice out of the video? Anything else that nobody else mentioned?
No, no, I wasn't able to watch because I started late, so I logged into the computer and I started late. So when I was watching the video, you guys are all talking. It's hard for me to concentrate on watching the video.
Okay. Well, at least by hearing what
got
people have said here, then you get an idea of what the discussion is going to be about.
Yeah, I got a big picture of, yeah.
Good, and that's one of the reasons we summarized. First of all, I get to verify that you guys have listened to it and you understand the main points, and for those who joined late, well, you get to hear instead of taking the time to watch the video. All right, Thess.
I think if I am in that place, I will just represent myself, because I'll just hire a coach. For me, it's gonna be cheaper, and just in case my case did not win, I will not blame anybody for that situation. Yeah, I'll represent myself and hire a coach.
That's what they're talking about. A lot of people are choosing to do that. This is part of a larger news piece that you can watch on YouTube that talks about it. And one of the reasons I don't broadcast the news story is I'm unaware of the different copyrights. Sometimes the news organizations put it up. Sometimes they put it up just so you can watch it, but you can't rebroadcast it. That's why I share the link to the video with you guys and let you watch it, so I don't have to worry about what fair use is, what the copyright is. All right. Well,
yeah, but I actually have a question. So I don't know, because I've only been in court once. I don't know. You can go there without a lawyer.
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, they can't force you to take a lawyer.
And
at least in most societies, anyhow. But let me get started, because I want to make sure everybody is aware of what we're going to do here. So I've had everybody summarize their thoughts on what is going on here, what the story is about. There's a video for anybody who's just joined us. What we're going to do now is we're going to break off into a role play. So we're going to have somebody who's going to play the role of a lawyer. Somebody who's going to play the role of a litigant. And okay, maybe I won't use the word litigant. I'll use it's a better way. No, I'll use the term litigant, and what I mean by litigant is you're actually in a court case, or you've actually been through a court case. You can choose which role you want to play, but you're somebody who has gone to court or is in court, okay? And that's what a litigant is. Somebody involved in a lawsuit, okay? Litigant. We're also going to have somebody who's going to represent, who's going to manage the panel. And we're going to have somebody who is a professor. So you watched in the video this person that was head of a self-representing litigant group. Okay, this professor, and this person was there to help those who are self-representing, a support group, so to speak. So the professor is in favor of supporting the cause of representing oneself and helping people out who have trouble. I got 1, 2, 3, and a facilitator. So the first 4 people are Wellington, Aka, Anna, and Anatoly. So Wellington, who would you like to be?
I can be the facilitator, the counselor.
Facilitator?
Yeah.
Aka, what role would you like to play?
Sorry, what play left?
Sorry?
What role left to me?
Well, they're all open except for the facilitator.
Okay. I don't know. So because I was watching this, so I
Okay,
didn't
so I'll go to
listen
Anna
it.
then. Anna, what role would you like to have?
I'd like to be the woman, the teacher
Okay.
who is going through a divorce.
Okay. Well, actually, the woman, the professor. Oh, the person going through the divorce. Well, that would be the litigant then.
Okay, and will I represent myself or hire a lawyer?
Up to you. It's up to you. You get to play the role you want.
Okay, I will talk to the lawyer and decide.
Okay, Anatoly.
I didn't remember title names of.
Okay, so I'm going to give you one then. You're going to represent the lawyer. And Aka, you'll be the professor.
Okay.
Okay, so these are the roles here. Now remember, this is based on the video, so if you're the lawyer, you get your cues from the video. So what was the lawyer saying? Well, he was tough. You're there to fight for your client. He will, of course, coach people that want to represent themselves, but he still believes that lawyers provide value and can reduce the time involved. Okay? The litigant, played by Anna, you can either be somebody who's representing oneself, that is using a lawyer, or that is talking to a lawyer to try to find out. Okay? The professor is Aka. The professor is the person responsible for the supporting self-representing litigants. It's a group. She's there to support those people. And of course, the facilitator is Wellington. So Wellington, you need to make you have everybody here in the studio. It's a TV show. You're the facilitator, and you're here to make sure everybody has a fair amount of talk time, that people don't interrupt or don't take too much control. Okay, so you guys have 5 minutes as a group, and then we'll have another round. Okay, I'll start the time. Thank you for tuning into ANX TV. Tonight we have a panel discussion about representing oneself in court without a lawyer. Is this a good idea? Is it a growing trend? I'm going to turn it over to our facilitator, Wellington. Go ahead, please.
Hello, guys. Good afternoon. Nowadays, we have a lot of people in many countries are represent yourself, and because this they can fall in pitfalls. But there are a lot of advantages to do this, and of course disadvantages. Here we have Anna, Anatoly, and Aka, and we will talk about this. Anna, let's begin. Let's start with you and tell us why are you thinking about to represent yourself in a court, and how are your doubts about this?
Well, I've been thinking of it because I have no options, you know. Unfortunately, I cannot afford the fees anymore. I can no longer afford a lawyer. Okay, I've been going through a huge process, a long of red tapes, and my ex-husband keeps bringing me to the courtroom over and over again. You know, I can't take it anymore. I have it up to here, and well, I've been splurging all my economies to afford the lawyer, and honestly, I don't think he has been doing a great job so far. So I've been studying the laws, and I think I will be able to represent myself better from now.
Oh, okay, let's talk now with Aka. Aka, you can give us some advices and tell to Anna what is better and what can be wrong. What are the pitfalls in this case? Can you tell us, help us?
Yes, actually, she has some economic hardship. So in this country, there's no law. You know, you can be you can be self uh, defend yourself by yourself with a lawyer. It is permitted, and some supporting is group is available. And one of the demerit of this, maybe people sometimes go very emotional. So maybe that's kind of thing might make case complicated. But she was studying law. Well, it's not easy actually. Uh, in these hardships, she studied law and she wants to, uh, defend herself. So I think it's a rational decision, and actually this kind of case is increasing. So it could be the one type of future trial. Actually, it is happening now, even now. So I that's my support for her.
Okay, so this I think you only see the disadvantages doing this.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Anatoly, can you tell us your point of view?
Oh, can you imagine, for example, that you operate yourself when you in trouble in the district of medicine? The similar things would happen in that district. I believe that people who are going to the court should trust only to professional in the law, and without lawyers we can't achieve our goal in the court. And I am able to clean your personality up in the
Sorry,
court.
guys, time is up. I'm going to put Anatoly into the next group because he didn't get enough talk time. Why? Well, part of the learning experience, that's the tough role of facilitating. You need to make sure everybody has a fair amount of time to discuss. If somebody keeps talking, you need to jump in, just like a panel facilitator will say, well, thank you very much. Now let's go to the lawyer and see what the lawyer has to say. As I've said before, we did this last year. Keep your talk time to about 20 to 30 seconds. Trust me, it'll be a better conversation. Now, to remind you guys, too, what we're going to do in the next hour, which comes up at an hour and a half, we'll actually debate this. Okay? So, here we go. Let's see. We've got Anatoly, you can still be the lawyer.
Yes.
Asma, what role would you like to play? The litigant, the facilitator, or the professor?
Okay, the litigant.
Okay. Now, as I told Anna, you can pick any role. You could be sued, or you could be suing. It could be related to damages. You were injured somehow. You were fired. Let's not use divorce because we just used that one. It could be related to the town or utility, unpaid bills. It could be anything you can think of.
Or maybe fired, but my boss didn't. How can I say this? When you finish your work and not the retirement, but they didn't give you. Means they closed the company, but without giving us our what?
Compensation.
Yes, compensation. Yes.
All right, so You're the litigant. Ruxia, what role would you like to play?
What are the roles left? Oh, okay. So litigant, professor, facilitator, professor, maybe?
Okay. And the facilitator will be Thess.
Okay.
Here we go. Here's our group. So Thess, you will start it off. So once again, we're here with CXS with our panel discussion about people who are choosing to self-represent themselves in court due to the rising costs. Not everybody can afford $100,000 for a lawyer. All right, guys, you have 5 minutes. Thess, why don't you take it away?
Good morning, everybody. We have here a case. Asma is going to represent herself in a court, and we are going to weigh which is more advantageous to represent themselves or to hire a lawyer after hearing each sides of the person. May I start with you, Asma? Would you like to represent the case that you're going to
Yes.
present in the court?
Yes. Actually, I will represent myself in court. I don't have the money that give me the ability to hire a lawyer because of my actual case. I was fired without any warning or without anything that I have made, and the company has been closed recently, and I didn't get any compensation. So I don't have money. This is my situation, and I don't know. I can't trust the law because the law didn't protect me also to get my compensation. So that's why I will represent myself in court.
Okay. Let me ask the one of the. What you call it? I'm thinking of the term. Okay. Let me ask our Professor Roksha to give you the advantages of having a coach when if you decided to represent yourself in a court. Roksha?
So I know you, yeah, but if you represent yourself without a lawyer, you might encounter some problem because you don't have enough knowledge in law and you don't know all these procedures and some of the nuances there. So it would be beneficial for you to have some coach for you at a lower cost or even at no cost, and you could look for those services.
That's good, yeah. But I want to ask, is that affordable? Is that free or what?
Yeah, as I mentioned, it will be affordable and sometimes it will be free, depend on your situation. Because it's just for some consultation. We are not going to do the whole stuff for you. We are not going to represent you, but just give you some guidance.
Mm. Yes.
Okay,
Cool.
good point from Russia. But the facts that he presented to you just fits what you need. But you have to listen to the lawyer's side too. Anatoly?
Okay, thank you. I'd like to ask you, do you want to win or do you want to keep your money? Separate presenting yourself is good for keeping your money, but if you want to win, trust to professionals. I am able to solve your problems and clean your reputation up. Thank you.
Okay, that ends our discussion.
Are you sure you want to give up time?
I thought there's no more time. Okay, okay. Go ahead, Russia.
So I agree with the lawyer said, but there's just a so even though the lawyer can try their best, there is the possibility of losing the case. So, and it's a really real reality the litigant is going to face just to spend the money on the lawyer. So that's why I think the number of self-representing litigants are increasing nowadays. So that's why I think it is very meaningful to have some coaching out there that could help them, but at the same time reduce the financial pressure on them.
All right, guys, and I'll stop it there because we've only got 7 seconds left. Now, we're going to imagine that we're on a radio program, and it's a talk radio program. I'm going to be the host this time, and radio hosts, they try to spark conversation by using loaded words or questions sometimes. And if conversation goes on too long, or once we've heard something, we will cut the person off and go on to the next person. That's part of how talk radio works. You can be any role you want. Now we're going to move it along quickly, and that's how we're going to spend the rest of the class. Well, what I want you guys to do is try to keep your conversation to 30 seconds. You can represent a lawyer, or you can play the role of a lawyer, a litigant, somebody who has experience with the system. You could even play a judge. You could play the role of anybody you want. Okay? So here we go. Welcome to Talk Radio XM 654949494554. That's right, 6949494944. Tonight's topic is representing oneself in court. It's very expensive these days. You could spend up to $100,000 on a lawyer and still not have the case resolved, and then be forced to represent yourself. So why choose a lawyer in the first place and save yourself that money? Thinking of getting divorced? How much money will it cost? You're thinking, I'll get a lawyer, that'll get me the house, it'll get me the children. But by the time you finish paying your bills, you might get the house, but then you might be forced to sell it because you've got to pay your legal fees. And have you ever tried not paying a lawyer? Good luck with that one. They'll get their money in the end. All right, so I'm going to go to the phones. I can see all the lines are lit up. Wellington, hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Is this your first time calling?
Yes, it's the first time.
And what's your opinion?
Yeah, I think represent yourself in a court is a good way to save money. It's a good way to struggle for your goal. But it's hard. It's hard because the people have to know the law, have to understand very well the vocabulary, have to know the deadlines. We know that there are a lot of rules and bureaucracy, and the people have to have time.
Okay.
So
thank you, caller. So it's expensive. People need time. Aka, what do you think?
Yes, I was listening to this radio. I kind of, yeah, the cost of trial is not so cheap, so it's kind of pain in the neck for everybody. But yeah, and
Are you speaking from experience?
Not exact case, but I heard some case, and you know the one of the hurdles of this, you know, to understand the legal issue fully, or jargons, or sometimes without such skills, sometimes defender cannot defend themselves enough. Even though they can defend, they cannot. So
thank you very much. So what Aka is telling us is it really depends on your skills.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, this is not easy. You can't just sort of go into court and go like, "Hey, judge, I want to sue that guy." It doesn't work that way. Hello, Anna. Next caller.
Hello, this is Anna from Brazil. Actually, I'd like to ask a question.
Go ahead.
If there is a lawyer there in your program, I don't know.
There is?
Because I'm okay here in Brazil. It's not that expensive to hire a lawyer, but I'd like to know if I want to sue a company that has its headquarters in the US. It's a virtual company, an online company. Do they have to report to the Brazilian justice or to the American justice? And is it possible to do or not?
Thank you. Okay, well, we have a lawyer here. Well, it depends on where the lawyer is hired. That lawyer is responsible to the laws of the country, the jurisdiction in which they are operating. So you really need to be aware of the laws of the land. And of course, one of your first conversations to the lawyer should be, what are your responsibilities to your client, and of course reporting to authorities. Okay, so that might depend on whether it's just a civil case or perhaps tort. Thank you very much, Anna. Anatoly, next caller. What? Where are you calling from? What's your role?
I am calling from Russia, and I think if you want to challenge yourself, you can try. Of course, you need to prepare for self-representation, and you can find lots of sources in using internet for. Yeah, I mean,
Sound like a lawyer.
but I prepare people who wanted to become lawyer.
Okay.
For their self-representation, and
Okay,
it is my business.
Thank you. So obviously you can you're hearing from a lawyer here. You know, it takes a bit of work. You've got a plan. You've got to do some work, and some experts have said if you are going to pursue the route of representing yourself in court, one of the first people you should contact is a lawyer. Get advice. Find out what you're getting involved with. This is kind of like buying a house. It is very expensive. It can last for years. Divorce cases and other tort cases can go on for up to 10 years. So know what you're getting involved with. Okay, next caller, Asma. Hello, where are you calling from, Asma?
Hello, I'm calling from Qatar. I would like to thank you for choosing this topic.
And what's your comment?
Okay, my comment is hiring a lawyer or not, people are called to coach themselves, because sometimes some lawyers are waste of time and money. So that's why you have to have a minimum of knowledge, negotiation, bargains about laws. So, of course, to hire a lawyer with more experience has its benefits.
Thank you very much.
But sometimes, yeah, it's a waste of time and money. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. So a very important point was made there. A very important point. You need to be aware of the environment. We had a caller earlier that said, well, I want to make sure I can get the house. All right, you might get the house, but if the laws of the land say it's 50-50, sure, you get the house, but then if the house is worth $500,000, you must then give up $250,000 in cash. Can you now then afford the house? You know, it's not like the movies. It's not like TV. One person doesn't always get all. And if the stakes are high, cases will go on, costs will go up. And those costs eat into actually what you get in the end. All right, next caller, Rexia. Hello, Rexia. Where are you calling from?
Hi, I'm calling from California.
California. And do you have a question or comment here?
Yeah, I think so. I like the analogy of this like buying house, like hiring a lawyer and or hiring a real estate agent. It's kind of similar, but I think a lawyer requires much more training than a real estate agent. So a lot of people nowadays buy a house on their own because they can read up something and they can know what to do. But sometimes it's difficult to just know all the rules, all the bureaucracy, all these nuances in laws.
Thank you, caller.
So,
All right, nuances in law. Again, you can study a lot.
yeah.
Remember, lawyers have spent many, many years studying this. They've got
training, yeah.
And one thing about a lawyer is they're there to fight for your cause. They're not there to make sure that it's an equal and fair decision. They're there strictly to fight for you and to get the best deal they can. And
yeah.
what's been happening in some of the cases where there are self-litigants is people are... Sorry, caller?
Oh, I'm just saying there's just
No,
a balance. Because of the high cost, as you mentioned, you could just...
Roxy, I got to cut you off there because you had more than your talk time, so I'm just summing up, and then we're going to continue on to Thess. All right, I got to make sure everybody has a fair... That's the tough thing about a facilitator is you got to know when to say, stop the conversation so you can continue it with others. Okay, now what was my point? So coming back to the legal side of it. So are they there to make the money? Not necessarily, but it takes time and it takes money. However, if you go into it thinking, let's get this thing resolved quickly, what do I really want out of this? Do some arbitration, get it done quickly, minimize your costs. All right. Next caller, Thess, hello, where are you calling from?
Hi, Simon. I'm calling from Hawaii.
Hawaii. Do you have a question or comment?
Yes. Both sides is very stressful and will cost money, whether you hire a lawyer or you do it on your own. But the less expense will be to represent yourself. So I will just represent myself. I will research more about the case, and then I will hire a coach. And then, so in that way, if my case will not win, so I will not regret for spending a lot of money. And yeah, it just depends on my case. If it's just a small case, then I'll just stop the case and just...
Thank you very much. All right, well, that's perfect. So obviously well thought out. You're not going to know everything. Let's use a lawyer. Have one in your camp. They can advise you. You're going to still pay some money, but you're not going to go to the extremes. A plaintiff is a litigant. A litigant is somebody who's involved in a lawsuit. A plaintiff and a defendant are involved in a lawsuit. Okay, so it's a more general term, litigant. All right, first round is over. Let's go back. We have another caller, Wellington. Hello, caller.
Hello, Simon. So,
comment.
I think everybody has the everybody wants to represent yourself, but like you was said, and I think everybody agree, is that there are a lot of bureaucracy, and so we have time. But like it was said, I think the best, if you want, it's better you hire a counseling people, a retired attorney.
So we have another caller saying,
yeah,
some advice, hire someone. All right,
yes,
thank you.
yes.
Aka, your question or comment?
Yeah, maybe everything, the litigators themselves is somewhat and requires skills or understanding of laws and legal issues or kind of fight against bureaucracy. So maybe it's a good idea to counsel someone, maybe supporting group or someone. I'm not sure about that, but to maybe not learn by yourself only, but also counseling works if you self-defend yourself.
Thank you very much. Another vote for counseling. Anna, question or comment?
A comment. As a plaintiff, I understand now why the justice statue has a blindfold covering its eyes, because I've been spending a lot of money and it's been worthless. I don't trust in lawyers. I don't trust in the justice system
All
anymore.
right, thank you very much. So there's a very, very good point by that caller. And as I turn over to Anatoly, I want to leave you guys with this quote. It is not so much that it's a justice system. Justice goes to those who have the most amount of money to afford the best lawyers. Anatoly, question or comment?
I tend to agree with everyone, because in different cases we need to choose a different decision, and I think it is possible sometimes to defend yourself without lawyers, but not every cases, I think.
All right, thank you very much. Asma, question or comment?
Yes, my comment. I think if you have the money and if you feel that your case is really very sensitive and deeper, so the best, in my opinion, you should hire a lawyer, because he has more knowledge and he knows how to bargain, especially when you choose an experienced lawyer. This is my comment.
Thank you very much. So, hiring an experienced lawyer in some capacity seems to be the advice today. Next caller, Rexia, do you have a question or comment?
I do agree. Yeah, sometimes I think it's just it's not who is the justice is not on the side of who is right, but on the side of who has money to hire, who has resources to hire the best lawyers out there.
Thank you very much. Yes, and it is a sad thing to believe that that is how most people feel. Thank you very much, caller. And next caller, Thess.
Hi, Simon. I don't have an experience being in the court, but I have a question. Can you stop the case anytime, whether you hire a lawyer or you represent yourself? And then what will be the effect for the lawyer if you just stop the case in the middle of the court?
Well, no, it does depend on the jurisdiction that you are in. Great call, by the way. Each country has its own procedures and laws in place. But as somebody hiring a lawyer, you can, most cases, fire your attorney at any time. Usually if you tell them you don't have any money, they'll stop working for you. That's a pretty good way to ensure that they are no longer representing you. But one thing interesting about this story, if you ever do go it alone, seek the advice of an attorney. Seems to be pretty good advice. But whether you go it alone and save money potentially, or hire a lawyer, it can still cost a lot of time, it can cost a lot of money, and a lot of stress. Now, if you actually search for this news story on YouTube, it's actually 14 minutes long, and at the end they talk about a man who sued the town for $5,000. The judge dismissed and actually agreed with the town and gave him $65,000. His wife got sick and died, maybe from the stress. You're playing with fire with this type of topic, and it's very, very stressful, no matter what side you're on. Unless you're a lawyer, because it's kind of what you do. So in an hour, I have another class, and it's a debate class, and we're going to look at the topic. Now, I have the debate resolution in the name of the class. So, the debate resolution is, representing yourself in court is not risky. Okay? So that should be easy enough to be For, if you're on the affirmative, you believe, yes, representing yourself in court is not risky if, and you would try to summarize why that's true. Or on the other side, say, well, no, of course it's risky because. The reason why I made it an hour after this is so I could have a little bit of lunch for my son, but also to give you guys time, if you're going to attend, to think a little bit about it. Okay? And yes, Anna, well, I actually have taught more classes in December than in the last 3 or 4 months. I didn't teach much this week because I've been sick. And I know not a lot of teachers are teaching during the holidays, but you know, I like to provide you guys with classes. I might teach tomorrow, but you're going to start to see me coming back more regular times in the new month here, or the new year. So guys, I'm going to bid you farewell. Like I said, I have a class coming up in an hour. It's a debate class. It will be a lot of fun. It's kind of like this, only you're trying to convince me that your side has the best argument. All right, guys, thank you so much, and I hope to see you guys shortly.
Thank you, Simon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye, guys.